Hey everyone, I'm going to take a look at the 15 legends in the 100 player pack on eFootball. It's the pack that was released with the update, and they gave us chance deals for this pack based on how many contract renewals we had left over when the update was released. The other 85 players in the pack are highlight cards. I'm not going to touch those for now. God knows my videos are long enough as it is. It'll be a 24-hour video if I did those, but I might do a quick run through of those other 85 players in another video in the near future. But for now, I'll just do those 15 legends. And as always, if there's a particular player you want to hear about out of those 15, just click in the description, because I'll put timestamps in the description so you can just click a link to take you straight to any player that you want to hear about. So let's jump in. As I mentioned, 15 legends in the pack. And you can see straight away there are some pretty decent ones in there. So as always, we'll start with the lowest rated and work our way up. So lowest rated of the lot, got a couple of 82 rated here, and we'll start with Luis García from Barcelona. So we have got a prolific winger, and he can only play as a right winger, no other positions. You could position train him, but let's jump onto eFootball Hub and we'll see how good he can be. So this is how I've built him. From the auto allocation, I've just nudged his dribbling down slightly. I've got his, I've taken a little bit off his pace as well, but we kept the attacking awareness at 80. The balance is still mid-80s. But importantly, we're giving him a bit more end product. So we've got the lofted pass up to 80, finishing up to 80 as well, which is important. Need a bit of end product on him, but it's still 90 plus on the ball there on all three of those attributes. Still 90 plus on speed and acceleration. He's an inverted winger, left footer playing on the right hand side. Looking at his skills, we've got a few skill moves in soul control, and then we've got heading, first time shot, one touch pass, through passing, outside curler. So we've got a nice section of skills there. The first skill I put on him, if I'm going to put skills in this guy, is long range curler. If you've got an inverted winger coming off the right wing onto his left foot, long range curler is an important one to have. You could say maybe long range shooting as well. Outside of that, I don't think there's anything he majorly needs. I think certainly the dribblers would like to, maybe like to put a few more skill moves on him. Comes down to preference, I think, no. But I think the one that he really would benefit from the most is long range curler. But yeah, he's fairly quick. He's pretty good on the ball. 94 dribbling there. Good attacking awareness for a winger. The balance isn't amazing, but it's decent enough at 85. Lofted pass 80s are right. He doesn't have pinpoint crossing, and he's a left foot playing on the right, so I'm not sure how big of a factor that will be, but 80's reasonable. You could put pinpoint crossing on him and cut inside, put some crosses in. He's reasonably two-footed, so you could try putting some crossing with his right foot as well. But with that low passing, you have to be very careful. He does have one touch pass and through passing, but don't ask too much of him with his passing. Finishing 80 though is decent. 80 finishing, 81 curl, 83 kicking power. So especially if you give him long range curler, he'll have a pretty nice long range curler on him. In terms of positions, he's only got wide right forward and right midfield. You could make him a centre forward or an SS. He's got good selection of skills to play through the middle as a forward. If you used the position trainers and gave him that position, how could you retrain him? If you take a bunch off there, you're going to need some awareness on him. I'm not sure we're going to be able to make him quite good enough really to be a centre forward. It's a bit of a stretch. I wouldn't want to take much more away from elsewhere. The awareness and finishing only in mid-80s, I'm not sure it's worth it. I don't think I'd bother with that. I think with this guy, you're going to look at him as a right winger, whether it's with the auto allocation as you see here, or the way I built him just before, just giving him a bit more end product. He's pretty neat. I think a lot of people will look at some of the lower rated legends in this pack and think there might not be much cut, but if you really look at them, they're all pretty decent. This guy on the right with the pace and his ability on the ball, pretty tidy. It could be fun for the dribblers, and depending how you train him and what skills you put on him, he's already got some decent ones in terms of end product, to be fair, but certainly long range curler. He could be pretty effective coming off that right flank. So yeah, he's certainly not one of the best legends that are available in this pack, but he's by no means a bad one. I think he's probably a bit better than some people might realise. And next we have Evair, a striker. So I'll be honest, this guy's been around since I've been into football, but I was never really aware of him until I put him in eFootball. This is based on when he played for Atalanta. He's a fox in the box centre forward. So let's jump back over to eFootball Hub and we will have a look at how good this guy is. So with auto allocation, it's clear where his greatest strengths lie, and it's basically with the two most important attributes in a centre forward. His awareness and his finishing, both in the mid-90s, is fantastic. On the ball, he's tidy enough. He's by no means a dribbler, though. He doesn't have great pace. He's got good acceleration, but he's not the quickest. His top speed only 80. Aerial and physically, he's okay. He's got a bit of physical strength about him, but he's not got a great leap on him. We'll have a look at his skills in a second, see how good he really is in the air. Balance 84 is decent. Heading 85 is pretty good. So when he does win a header, his heading should be pretty good. Passing's not brilliant, so be careful with the passing. With that fox in the box playing style, it might suit you with this. If you just want your strikers to be able to pop up in the right place at the right time and just put the ball in the net, this guy could be really effective for you. But for me personally, with the fox in the box, they're not going to be as aggressive with their forward running as a goal poacher. They're not going to be bombing in behind the defence at every opportunity. They will be more readily available for you to feed a pass into them and play off them in the build-up. And for me personally as well, I find the fox in the box is the best playing style for strikers to get on the end of crosses. They seem to just time their runs on to get on the end of crosses a bit better than any other playing style for me. So with a fox in the box for me, to make the most of that playing style, I would like a striker to be a bit better in the build-up and a bit better physically in aerial as well. So can we shuffle some points around? I'm just going to show you a slightly different build here. So just to kind of round him out a bit and give him a more of an all-round build and make him a bit stronger in the areas where I want him to be stronger, a bit better on the ball there. It's a pretty straightforward one. So 2 5s there and an 8 on all these ones down here. So what you end up with, yes, you've taken a bit away from awareness and finishing, which are the two most important attributes, but you're still at 90 for both, which is great. I think that's enough. You're up to 90 for heading now, so his heading is going to be great, and he's a lot better equipped to win those headers with 80 for jumping, and now his physical is up to 84 as well. Still at 80 balance, 84 acceleration, speed at 80. He's not rapid, but like I say, as a fox in the box, he's not going to be running in behind the defence too much. It's not too important to have that pace compared to if he was a goal poacher, for example. Bit tighter on the ball now, really nice ball control. The dribbling's up to 80, tight possession 85, and a bit more on his passing as well. So he's going to be better able to get involved in the build-up, and he's going to be better able to bring down long balls, and most importantly, get in the end of crosses. But I mentioned the skills. He does have a good selection of skills for a centre forward. First time shot, the most important one. Chip shot control, soul control is a nice bonus. He's got heading, but he doesn't have aerial superiority, and he doesn't have acrobatic finishing either. So I would look to give this guy aerial superiority and acrobatic finishing if I picked him up. If you really want to make the most of him, I think with a build like this, if you gave him aerial superiority and acrobatic finishing, I think he would have the perfect skill set really as a kind of all-round centre forward. He could get involved in the build-up as long as you're careful with the passing still, but he'd be comfortable enough getting on the ball. He'll be decent enough getting on the end of crosses, with the awareness and finishing as well. He's pretty responsive. I think as an all-rounder, this guy is pretty decent. And as with Luis Garcia, I think a lot of people will take one look at this guy. Most people probably haven't heard of him. They'll take one look and think, well, he's not particularly high rated for a legend card. Maybe he's not much cop, but I think he's decent. It will depend on what playing style you like from your centre forward and what kind of strengths you like him to have. Obviously, if you like your speed demons like Michael Owen up front, he probably won't be your cup of tea. But I think he's got plenty of qualities, and I think for a lot of people, it could actually be a better striker than you might realise he is. And next up, we have Zé Roberto from Bayern. So, we've got a versatile one. Zé Roberto can play left wing, left back, or he can play in midfield. A few different ways we can use him. He's a creative playmaker. That playing style is going to be active as a left winger or as an attack midfielder if you're position training for that, or left wing forward. It will not be an active playing style at centre mid or defensive mid or left back. But let's jump over to eFootball again. See how good this guy can be in any given position. So here's your auto allocation. You can see where the strengths are. He's technically fantastic, really nice passing, low and lofted. He's not got brilliant attacking awareness. His finishing is not amazing either. Great curl on him there. I have a feeling we're going to have some very nice crossing on this guy. We'll see if he's got pinpoint crossing. Defensively, he's got a bit of defensibility there. Depends where you play him. Pace though, as a left winger, is he amazing? I'm not sure he's quite got the pace for a left wing. He's certainly not slow, but we'll have a look in a second at how we can train him. Kicking power is great. Bit of physical contact on him for a winger, that's decent. Balance is decent. Stamina, again, depends where you're playing, but it could be alright. Let's have a look at his skills then. So, chop turn, cut behind, soul control. And then end product wise, what we've got: dipping shot, one touch pass, through passing, weighted pass, pinpoint crossing, outside curler, fighting spirit. Okay, so we've got some passing, we've got some crossing. Could probably do with maybe the long range shooting, but I think in terms of passing and crossing, which are the most important areas of his kind of end product, he's pretty well equipped. But like I say, as a left winger, is this build alright? Is this what we would go with? It's not what I would go with. I think I would probably take a bit away from his passing. He does have pinpoint crossing, and as I say, with that the lofted pass, the curl, and the kicking power, he's going to have a really, really fantastic cross on him. But we can afford to take a bit away from his passing, so I'm just going to nick a few from there. I'll leave his lofted at 90 at least. And to be honest, I'm just going to put the points we've freed up there straight on lower body. That's all I'm going to do. I think as a left winger, that's all I'll do. get a bit more speed on him. That's the important thing. I don't really want to take away any of that ability on the ball because he looks very nice on the ball. I wouldn't say he's got a low center of gravity as such, but he's not the tallest either. He should feel pretty nice on the ball. Good on the ball attributes. They're all 90 plus. Balance 85 is decent. He's got reasonable pace. Great kicking power. Again, great crossing on him, but he's got great passing as well. Did he have outside curler? He does, yeah. So going either outside or on the inside, wherever he is, he can pick a pass. He's a left footer, but yeah, passing, crossing. I think as a left winger is decent. I think I say this about a few players lately. In terms of the type of winger he would be as a left footer with the abilities he's got, not having electric pace, he's that kind of Beckham style of a winger. He's going to be an old school winger, left footer, up and down the left flank. You're not going to focus on the pace, even though he's a very good dribbler. He's more about the end product, and with his passing and shooting, he can be very effective as a left winger. But if you look at his other positions, as an attacking midfielder, he could position train him for attacking midfield. I don't think I'd do much different if he did that. If he did want to make him an attacking midfielder, and he would have that creative playmaker playing style active there, I think all I'd probably do is I'd take those two back from the low body, because it's not so important to have pace in the middle of the park as an attacking midfielder. I'll give him a couple on dexterity, I think. I'll probably just do something like that. You get his balance up higher, acceleration and attacking awareness. I think as an attacking midfielder, I'd probably do that. If you're going to use him as a centre midfielder, what would I do? We need a more of an all-round build, and we need him to be able to defend if he's going to play as a centre midfielder. In fact, you don't need that shooting really as a centre midfielder. Hang on, what am I doing? We need more stamina. That's important. Bunch of defending. Yeah, so we can get his tackling up to 80 there. So we can get his defenses reasonably strong. Still tidy on the ball. Still got very nice passing, especially with that low pass hitting 90. Remember, he's got one touch pass, through passing, weighted pass. We've got a bit more speed on him, and since stamina up to 86, but still that stamina at 86, if he's playing centre midfield, it's a bit questionable. He's probably will get tired in the second half. Balance is still decent. Physical contact's alright at centre midfield. As a centre midfield option, he could be decent. I think as an all-rounder centre midfield, he could be alright. I think the stamina is probably the main concern for me. That's the one area where I'd be a little bit concerned. And skill-wise, if you play him as a centre midfielder, interception, very important. I'll put interception on him. I think then you've got a pretty nice midfielder. He's got a lot of qualities there. He will not have an active playing style. Creative playmaker is not active centre mid. He'd probably be kind of like a box-to-box, but I don't think he'd be quite as aggressive. He won't cover quite as much of the pitch as a box-to-box would, but he'll be pretty neutral. No active playing style. I don't think I would make him a defensive midfielder because we've put 10 on as defending there. We're struggling a bit for stamina. If you're going to make him a defensive mid, I'm not sure you could really make him that strong defensively. He'd be sacrificing a lot of what he's really good at, to be honest. But certainly as an all-round centre mid, you could get away with him. I think this kind of build you could do worse as a centre mid. And he does have left back as well. Again, he will not have an active playing style at left back, but if we train him as a left back, if we took away the technicals, because he even at level 1, he's already good enough for a left back down there. Most important thing, really, speed and defending is what he needs. To be honest, I'd probably just do that. I mean, you've gone on 14 on lower body. Those last two increases on lower body are 4 each. That's 8 points just for those last two. That's about as high as you can really afford to go, I think. I think the defending's fine for a left back. Down the left, he's good for a left back technically. Certainly the attacking skills are fantastic for a left back. But the two concerns if you use him as a left back, number one, he needs defensive skills. Interception's a must, and then beyond that you probably want a few more. Maybe his man marking, block, or acrobatic clearance, a few skills like that maybe as well, but certainly interception. And then the other concern, a little bit slow for a left back. I mean, he's not slow, but he's not as quick as I think most of us would like him to be. So could it be an option as a left back? Yes, certainly. I think just comes down to what players you've already got. If you've already got a bunch of legends in centre midfield and as left wingers, you might not need him in those positions. But if you don't have any legendary left backs, it could be worth turning him into a left back if you get him. And then you've got a left back option, even if he's not perfect. Just needs 1 or 2 skills, and you just have to be mindful of the fact he's not the quickest. But certainly a lot of qualities there as a left back. So yeah, this isn't an amazing card, but it could just be one of those cards that's used for the fact that he's a legend, so he's got that permanent B form. In fact, he's got a few positions where he can be good. Maybe he's not amazing, but certainly good in a few positions. So it's a useful card, I think. But at his best, I think certainly as a left midfielder, something along the lines of his auto allocation. Might not have electric pace, but certainly with his end product, his passing and crossing, if he suits you as that kind of winger, could be fantastic. So that's how it'd be best for me. But with a few different ways you could use him, I think it could be a pretty useful card to have, even if it's not an amazing one. Next up, we have Dennis. So this guy was brilliant. One of the best fullbacks in Premier League history. A bit of a shame they've only got him semi-proficient at right back because he's right-footed. He could certainly play there, but he did play mostly as a left back. He's an attacking left back. And yeah, let's have a look on eFootball. Let's see how good he is. Hopefully they've done him justice. So here we go. He's coming up 100 rated when he's got the full game plan boost. Nice. And yeah, when you look at these attributes, good fullback. So this is how I've just kind of tweaked his auto allocation. I've not done much from the auto allocation, but to show you the auto allocation now, you see not much different. But what I've done really there, I've nudged one away from speed, which you can do quite comfortably. And he's still, I mean, 90 speed, still 97 kicking power, 98 stamina. Yikes, that kicking power is crazy. And then I've nicked one off defending as well. And what that's done, it's freed up 6 points. And I'll just put them all on dribbling. Make him nice on the ball. Attacking when it's 80 on attacking fullback, crikey. He's going to get up and down that flank. I do find when the fullback has higher attacking awareness, that seems to really determine how much they're going to kind of push forward and move into attacking positions, which is not always a great thing. I've got one or two fullbacks whose attacking awareness is well up into the 70s, and sometimes they're way too high up the pitch. It's a bit of a concern, but when you've got the pace of this guy and you've certainly got the stamina of 98, I think you can probably afford to get up and down a lot. But yeah, with this build, very nice on the ball for fullback. Low pass is decent, 82, very decent. But that lofted pass of 90, curl 85, kicking power 97. And if anyone's got pinpoint crossing, Irwin does. He had a very good cross on him. So pinpoint crossing, this guy's crossing is going to be fantastic. He was good at penalties. He used to be the penalty taker at Man U for a number of years. Interception is a crucial one for a fullback. Acrobatic clearance, fighting spirit, slide and tackle as well. So you've got a very nice little selection of skills there for an attacking fullback. Technically, really nice. Defensively, strong. Pace, good. Maybe it's like the acceleration to be a little bit higher, but I don't think you can have it all. Can't complain. Kicking power, as I say, is crazy. Jumping and physical, they're fine for a fullback. Balance 84 is decent. Stamina 98. Wow. And he's pretty two-footed. To be honest, it sounds a bit nitpicky, but having watched this guy a lot back in the day in his prime, weaker foot usage 3 out of 3, yes. Weaker foot accuracy, why is that only 2? It should be 3. He was about as two-footed as anyone. So I think they've done him a little bit dirty there. He should have been fully two-footed, really. But outside of that, I mean, what more can you ask for? Maybe he's outside curler, maybe he's one-touch pass or something like that, long-range shooting. But ultimately, with this guy, you've got a really sound attacking left back. And the only thing I think I would realistically do with this guy if I get him, and I do hope to get him, is stick a few position trains on him, get him right back. He's already semi-proficient, so you might get it in 1, but knowing my luck, it will take about 30. But yeah, certainly I'm going to be doing that. And as a fullback who's pretty two-footed, who can play on either flank with these attributes, I think this is a really good card. And I think anyone who gets this card could be very pleased with it. And next up is Daniel. This guy is massive. I've got him. Daniel van Buyten from Bayern. Destroyer centre-back. About 12 feet tall. Let's go straight into eFootball Hub. Let's see how good he is. So, this is with auto allocation. Yikes, 100 tackling. Defensive monster. 99 physical contact. This guy is an absolute bully. 85 jumping as well on a guy as tall as he is. All jokes aside, he is just over 6'5", so he is massive. With that kind of physical contact and jumping mid-80s. He does have aerial superiority as well. He is a monster in the air. He's not the quickest, so a guy as massive as he is, you kind of expect that. You can't have all, so he's a little bit on the slow side. Balance 52 as well, and not great technically. So when it comes to maneuverability and his technical ability, he is a bit lacking, as you would expect from a massive physical kind of centre-back. Looking down those skills, to look in more detail here, of course, heading and aerial superiority, but then outside of that, rising shots, I didn't even realise he had that. Acrobatic finishing, I did realise he has that, because when he's sending forward for corners, he just seems to try and scissor kick everything. He's hilarious. Long throw, didn't realise he had that either, but defensively, we'll get into the important ones. Obviously, he's got the aerial ones, but man marking, acrobatic clearance, captaincy, fighting spirit, blocker. He is lacking interception. That's one thing you'll need to give him. I've given mine interception, and I've got to be honest, he's been really good for me. So interception, very important. He needs that. And I think sliding tackle as well. Might want to put that on him. I don't think it's quite as important, but you might want to give him that. He's missing that. Outside of that, what I've given mine, I think I've given mine outside curler, and possibly one-touch pass and weighted pass, I think, just to make him a bit more comfortable technically. And in terms of how he's built, you could absolutely stick with this auto allocation. He's a beast. If you wanted to be a bit more of an all-rounder, you could certainly spare some points from defending. You could go right down. I would go just that far down. He's a destroyer, so I'd like a destroyer to be at least 90 defensive engagement, because destroyers are liable to step forward and vacate their position. You want to be able to get back into the right position nice and quick. Engagement seems to be important for that. That's freed up 14 points. Where would you put those points? I personally have nudged my passing up to 70 on mine. Would you want to put someone as on the ball attributes? I think that would certainly help a bit. Still got 7 there. I think I would just put a few on lower body, a bit more speed, and also you'll notice his stamina there's 77. We've got just enough to get his stamina up to 80, which is nice. And then 1 point left over, give him 1 more in passing. So you might want to give him a build similar to that. I've had mine built pretty much like that for a while, and he's been very good for me. Like I said, with the passing skills I've given him, putting his low pass up to 70, it just makes him a bit more comfortable on the ball. Clearly, he's still not going to be great on the ball. He's not going to feel too comfortable when he gets on the ball, but it's worth improving him because he's, like I say, he's a big physical guy. He's pretty awkward, but you can see what the strengths are. He's defensively very strong. That tackling, even taking a bunch of points off, still 96 on tackling. He's a monster in the air. And to show you one other build that you could do on this guy, I'm going to show you a slightly cheeky one. One thing with this guy is that if you've got some really good centre-back options, I've got pretty good options, so I don't always need Van Buyten in my team, but what I like to do is I'll sometimes keep this guy on the bench, and I have a couple of centre-backs in my team who are a bit more mobile, a bit more nimble, just to deal with the pacey strikers, which you usually do come up against in the game, whether it's Mbappe, Romario, Owen, whoever it is. But if I come up against a guy who's got a big physical striker and he starts spamming crosses, this guy can be fantastic to deal with that. And if that's what you're going to use him for, just to give you a slightly different build on him, what you can do, I'm going to leave those for on passing actually. This is pretty much the build I just did actually, and all I'm going to do, we're going to call in our sneaky trusty friend goalkeeper 1, 1 2 3 4, boom. We now go to 90 jumping. So you got a guy who is just over 6'5". He's got aerial superiority, 99 physical contact, 90 jumping. You stick this guy on your bench, you find you come up against an opponent who's got a big tall striker, maybe it's Collar. Collar's the ultimate example, but any big tall striker and they're spamming crosses in, put this guy in your defense, he'll deal with it. He's the absolute ultimate antidote to that kind of a striker. So that's one little sneaky build you can do. You make the most of goalkeeper 1. Some fantastic defensive attributes, get his passing up a bit with the physical 99, jumping 90. Oof, this guy in the air, monster. So yeah, a lot of people might look at this guy and think he's going to be clunky, he's going to be awkward, he's going to be slow, he's not going to be great for you. He certainly has a use. He's not someone I looked at initially and thought I'd be using a lot, but I've used him more than I expected to. And like I say, when you throw him forward for corners as well, he's a lot of fun. So yeah, don't discount this guy if you do pick him up. Give him a try a few different builds. He could be a very effective one for you. And next we have another striker. We've got Dwight Yorke from Man United. So, goal poacher. Let's have a look in eFootball Hub. How good is he? I've seen one attribute already that's a little bit scary. So, that attribute is balance. So, maxed out auto allocation, only 71 balance. Balance is pretty important on a striker. It really does make a difference to how cleanly you get your shots away, and just in general, keeping your balance and being able to do everything to the best of your abilities. Balance is an important attribute, so that's a bit of a downer already, but outside of that, pace on a goal poacher is decent. I'd like a bit more speed though, to be fair, on a goal poacher. Attacking awareness, awesome. 98 attacking awareness, 95 finishing. He's tidy enough on the ball. Passing's okay for a centre forward. Heading 86 is pretty decent. Jumping 86 as well. I don't remember him being that good in the air, but fair enough. Physical contact 78 is not too bad. Not bad at all really on a goal poacher. And 84 king power is alright. So yeah, with this auto allocation, we're looking alright, to be honest. He's going to be fairly responsive, but the balance is low, and I'd like a bit more speed in a goal poacher. So let's just have a quick look at the skills, and then I'll shuffle some points around. So skill-wise, we've got heading, nice. So he's got pretty good heading and jumping attributes. He's not the tallest at 175. That's like 5'8", 5'9". So he's not going to be dominant in the air, but when he put crosses in, if he's got some space, he gets a free header. He's going to be decent. He's going to be able to score headers for you. We've got chip shot control. He certainly had that in real life. Dipping shot. Acrobatic finishing, again from crosses. That's handy. First time shot, most important one. One touch pass, handy. Good at penalties. Got fighting spirit. I feel like he deserves a long range curler. I seem to remember he could hit a curled finish. You know, I quite liked him when he came through at Aston Villa. He looked really good there. I feel like he deserves long range curler, but yeah, you might want to give him that. You could give him aerial superiority, but I don't know how dominant you can make this guy in the air when he's as short as he is. But yeah, in terms of shuffling points around, I'm just going to take a few away from finishing. You can afford to do that. You can afford to take that one from passing. Leave 4 there. I think with this guy, I want to get more speed on him, and I wonder if we can get that kicking power up to 90 as well. When you've got a striker like this where his balance is already low, I feel like it's a question of, you know, you're either going to get the balance up to a point where it's good, or you're just going to have to say, right, his balance is bad, I'm not going to be able to make it good. We might as well just take a few points away from there, because we can afford to take a few from acceleration. We can certainly afford to take a few from offensive attacking awareness. So I'm going to just accept that his balance is bad. I'm going to take it even lower, free up some points there. 68, it sucks, but it already sucked at 71. We've now got 21 spare points. So, there we got that speed, acceleration, and kicking power now all at the 90 mark. Still got 5 points. Do we need all that aerial ability on a guy who's not that tall? No, I'm going to take those 4 away as well. 8 points. Take a couple on dribbling, get his dribbling up to the 80 mark. And you could put those last 2 on dribbling as well. But I'm going to put him back on shooting. It's nice to get that shooting a bit higher. So, yeah, I would do this. So, attacking awareness still fantastic at 95. Made him a bit tidier on the ball. I think he deserved to be a bit tidier on the ball. He was always pretty comfortable on the ball, Dwight Yorke. They've been a bit harsh with him in that area, I think. Passing still pretty much what it was. That's fine for a striker. He's got one-touch pass as well. Finishing 92 is great. Heading still in the 80s at least, even though we scrimped a few points from there. Likewise, jumping 82. Physical contact still on the goal poach is decent at 74. We have scrimped a bit on the balance, but the stamina is good. And up here as well. Speed up to 90. This is a goal poach, remember. He's going to be getting in behind the defence a lot. That speed's important. Acceleration still at 90. And we got that kicking power to 90 as well. You will notice that with his finishing. So I would do that. It's not a million miles off his auto allocation, but I think it suits his playing style better. And I think all things considered, with the skills, with the abilities he's got, and the areas where he's strong, I think this is a pretty nice goal poacher, to be honest. The one real downside is that balance. That balance absolutely sucks, and you can't really get it much higher than that, really, unless you take a lot of points away from elsewhere. So you can be very careful with this guy with everything you do, especially with your shooting. Make sure he's set to get his shot away. Don't be sprinting and twisting and turning and shooting from awkward positions, because that balance will come back and really cause you issues. But outside of that, a lot of qualities here, and it's a pretty decent goal poacher on the whole. And next is another centre forward. So we've got Claudio Pizarro from Buyten. This time we have a fox in the box. So same playing style as Evair. We looked at a minute ago. Let's have a look in eFootball Hub. We'll see how good he is. So auto allocation. Again, attacking awareness and finishing, the 2 most important areas. Fantastic. We're in the 90s. Reasonably tidy on the ball. He's clearly not going to be a dribbler. He's quite a physical guy. He wasn't really about the dribbling. He's not got great pace either at 76. Passing is decent for a centre forward. Heading's pretty good, 86. He was quite good in the air. Jumping 86 as well. Physical 83. He's about 6 foot tall, so he looks decent in the air. Not necessarily dominant. We'll check the skills in a moment. Acceleration is decent, even if the speed isn't particularly good. Kicking power 91 is good. Balance 90 is great. So especially on a big physical guy. So yeah, I mean, he's not huge, but he like I say, in terms of the way he played the game, he's kind of an all-rounder, but he was more about the physical side of the game. He wasn't the paciest. He wasn't the most aesthetically pleasing, but let's look at his skills. Scissors, feint, sombrero, cut behind and turn, nice. Soul control's a nice bonus. Heading, aerial superiority. So he does have some good strength in the air. So with his attributes, heading 86, jumping 86, physical 83, aerial superiority, he's going to be fairly strong in the air. He's not massive, he's only 6 foot tall, and those attributes are good but not amazing. So he's not going to be dominant in the air, but he will be good. He will be able to get in the end of crosses for you and score headers. First time shot, crucial one. One touch pass is handy. Track back, not everyone's cup of tea. Super sub, we've got a super sub. Got a physical striker who's decent in the air. Bring him off the bench second half, could be handy. What are we missing? Long range curler would be nice. Maybe through passing. Acrobatic finishing. I think the type of striker we've got here with the strengths he's got, I think the first skill I'll put on this guy is probably acrobatic finishing, just to kind of round him off as a kind of all-rounder who's decent in the air and physically strong. That's probably the one skill I'd look to put on him first. And in terms of the way he's built, So can we spare some points and try and beef him up in the speed department? That's my main concern. We probably can. We can nick a couple from finishing. What else we got? Leave the dribbling as it is. I think we can nick a few from dexterity. It's a shame we go below 90 for balance, but that was pretty high for a physical guy. I think we can afford to do that. Still at 80 acceleration. Like I said with every year, he's a fox in the box. He's not going to be darting in behind the defence all the time. So pace isn't quite so important. You do need a bit of mobility though, but I think speed's the main thing with this guy. Speed's not too important getting him behind the defence, but you still need speed in any position. 76, I think you are going to notice. You don't want it to feel too cumbersome, which I think he might do looking at the physique and everything. So where are we? Can we get him up to 12? Yes, we can. 2 points left. I'll stick him back on passing there. Yeah, I think as a fox in the box, he's going to be fairly comfortable in the build-up. Don't start trying to do anything silly with him, like, you know, dribbling. Obviously, he's not great at dribbling. He's not the quickest, but with the ball control and tight possession, he's technically sound. He's going to be able to get on the ball, pick a pass. He's got one-touch pass as well, so his passing should be reasonable. Still at 90 for awareness and finishing. We've left the physical where it is, so he's decent in the air. But we've got that speed up to 80. I think that's worth doing. Up to 80 for speed is going to be that a little bit more responsive and mobile. But a kicking power as well, 95 kicking power, you'll notice that. He's going to have a very powerful shot on him that can make a real difference. Balance, still at 86. It's not what it was, but it's still 86. For me, this is more of an all-round build. You might prefer the auto allocation. I like this. I'm quite keen to get this guy, to be honest. I like Fox in the box as a playstyle. I like my strikers to be all-rounders. I like them to be physically strong. I like them involved in the build-up. I like a bit of everything. As you've seen there, I like a bit of pace on them, but they don't need to be electric. So yeah, that's how I build him. But even if you went the auto allocation, I'll leave him on the auto allocation because a lot of people don't really mind the lack of speed. You might prefer that. If you do, that might work great for you as well. Still got some great strengths there with the awareness to finishing, the kicking power and balance, all 90 plus. Again, I think this is a card a lot of people might look at him, and if you're not familiar with him, some people might not have seen him play back when he played for Bayern. You might not think he's too great, but he looks like he could be pretty effective. It just depends if that fox in the box playing style suits you, and if the strengths he's got are really the ones that you look for in a striker. Because if they are, I think again this could actually be a pretty strong card. It could be a decent one to pick up. And now we have Mendieta. So we've got a right midfielder, creative playmaker. We've already had a left midfield creative playmaker in Roberto. We now have a right midfielder. So we'll jump over to eFootball Hub and see how good this Middlesbrough legend can be. Of course, he did play for Barcelona as well, but let's be honest, he's a Middlesbrough legend first and foremost, isn't he? Yeah, well, so first things first, down the left-hand side, technically, fantastic. Really, really nice. Attack awareness is good at 80 as well. Finishing is not brilliant. Pretty good at set pieces. Down the right-hand side, okay, so speed's kind of okay-ish. Acceleration's good. Kicking power's great. Balance is pretty good. Good stamina. Very two-footed. I don't remember him being that two-footed, but fair enough, that's good. Yeah, so we'll start off as a right midfielder. Is he any good as a right midfielder? Technically, yeah, he's great. Pace-wise, though, that's the one question mark as a right midfielder. And it's similar to Roberto. You've got a right midfielder who's an old-school right midfielder in the sense that he's right-footed, and he's going to be great with his own product, his passing and shooting. We'll just quickly look at his skills down here. So he's got double touch and sombrero, soul control. Not a lot for the dribblers, but not the quickest either. I'm not sure he's going to be quite your cup of tea if you really like your dribblers. But soul control's nice, and heel trick. One touch pass, through passing, weighted pass, pinpoint crossing, outside curler. So again, lovely on the ball. You get him on the ball, pass, cross. He can really make things happen for you, create chances for you. As a kind of a Beckham style of winger, not relying on his pace, relying more on his technical ability and his end product. It could be fantastic. I would still like a bit more pace. Could we give him a bit more pace? What can we do? Let's have a look. We can scrimp it. So we'll start. He's got a few positions. First things first, I'm not going to look at him as a centre mid because he can't defend. I'm going to look at him as an attacking midfielder next, but I'll start with the right midfield build. So right midfield, low pass not quite so important, but we'll leave the lofted pass at 90. Want to get some nice crosses in. What else are we going to do? We can nick a bit from dribbling. Probably shouldn't do that, but I want to get some pace on him. Going to get his acceleration up to 90. We've got 5 points left. Might have to nick one from shooting. Get his lower body up a bit more. Yeah. As a right midfielder, we've not changed anything massively from the auto allocation, but we've just made him that a little bit quicker. I think that's worth doing. Even more kicking power now as well, and stamina. but getting that acceleration up to 90 as well. And we've still got a bunch of 90s here, particularly lofted pass. With his pinpoint crossing, 90 lofted pass, 88 curl, 94 kicking power. He's going to have a brilliant cross on him. He is very much in that kind of Beckham mould as a right midfielder. Not the paciest, although we've made him a bit quicker there. But when you get him on the ball, he's very tidy. And he's got a great cross on him. And of course, he can come inside. He's got very good passing. And he's very two-footed. He can go inside and outside, right foot, left foot. So, yeah, as a right midfielder, maybe for the dribblers or like the pacey dribble merchants, he might not be your cup of tea. But if you like a guy who's technically sound, who's got fantastic end product, could be very nice right midfield. And as I mentioned, as an attacking midfielder, what can we do as an attacking midfielder? Will we do much different? I don't think pace is quite so important. And we've used quite a lot of points on his speed. I'm going to take that down to, I think it was on 10 initially, wasn't it? We'll leave it there for now. In fact, I'll take it down to 8. I'll leave the kicking power at 90 and the speed at 80. I think that's fine on an attacking midfielder with that creative playmaker playing style. He's not going to be doing a lot of bombing in behind defenders into space, is he? So speed not quite so important in this case. We'll leave that on 8. Get that balance up to 90. That's nice. And then she'll stick both these back up to 8 where they were and just put the shooting back to 4 where it was. So yeah, is that the auto allocation in fact? Pretty much is, isn't it? We'll just swap the lower body and dexterity around. I think that's worth doing as an attacking midfielder, getting that acceleration and balance up to the 90 mark. Yeah, as an attacking midfielder, again, with the skills he's got, with his passing, crossing not so important, of course, when you're playing through the middle, but can be lovely on the ball, passing the ball left foot, right foot. You're going to be really good at creating chances for you. Shooting's not brilliant. I would probably put long range shooting on him, maybe first time shot, for any shooting opportunities, make the most of him because he's got good kicking power. Maybe long range curl, he's got great curl as well, but yeah, be careful with his finishing. Don't ask too much of him, but certainly when you get him on the ball, good attacking awareness, tidy in possession, fantastic passing, and he's going to be pretty nimble and responsive. Not rapid pace, but in terms of how nimble and responsive he is, pretty decent. Got a fairly low centre of gravity, so yeah, this guy, to be fair, whether you use him as a kind of old school right midfielder and kind of rely on his end product, he can go inside and outside two-footed, or whether you train him something like this and use him as an attacking midfielder, I think it's a pretty strong card. I think, you know, some people might have some crazy good cards in attack midfield like your Zicos, your Maradonas, but if you don't have players like that in your team, I think this guy could be a very good option through the middle or on the right, to be honest. So yeah, again, not an amazing top level card, but it's a pretty good one. And now we move on to the first of a trio of Arsenal players. So Arsenal fans will be pleased if they get these players, that is, of course. So we've got Lee Dixon. He's a defensive fullback. I personally would have expected him to be an attacking fullback, but they made him a defensive fullback. Not sure that face scan is the best, but it could be worse, I suppose. But yeah, defensive fullback, right back. Let's have a look on eFootball Hub. How good is Lee Dixon? He's pretty damn good. So I'll be honest, I think a lot of people in the player base, especially a lot of the kind of high rank players, are the kind of the real kind of div merchants who spend a lot of time grinding their ranks, trying to get high ranked and stuff. Defensive fullback seems to be a popular playing style among a lot of those guys and among a lot of people in the player base in general, to be honest. And to be honest, this guy, as a legend with permanent B form, with the attributes he's got, he's one of the better ones I've seen. This is a really good defensive fullback. So pace, fantastic. Kicking power is great. Physical is okay. Balance is decent. Fantastic stamina. Defensively, he's very strong for a fullback. On the ball and passing, he's not brilliant, but he's just about good enough. I think most people who like a defensive fullback are probably okay with attributes around that level, to be honest. So, yeah, we could probably shuffle some points around a little bit. I would like him a bit more technically comfortable. If you like the auto allocation, great, good for you, that's fine. But I'm just going to shuffle him on a little bit. We'll get that jumping up to 80, actually. That'd be nice. Can we get 2 more on defending? Yes, we can. Oof. We can nick a bit from dexterity, I reckon. Leave him at 90 acceleration, because I'd just like to get a little bit more on his passing. Yeah, I would like that as a build, I think, if I got this guy. So we've left him as he is on the ball, but the passing is a little bit better, because his low pass isn't brilliant. But you see here, we've got that tackling, most importantly, up to 90. 90 tackling on a fullback. And the speed and acceleration, maybe not quite what they were, but still 90 plus on both. Still a really good kicking power. Jumping's up to 80. Physical contact's up a little bit. Balance still decent. Stamina still at 95. I think I'll probably do that. I think for a fullback, attacking, I would like a little bit more down here. But as a defensive fullback, if you're focusing primarily on his defensive abilities, I think down the left he's okay. But down the middle with the defensive ability, fantastic. Athletically, fantastic. If we look down at his skills here, going forward, if he does go forward, which he won't do a lot with that defensive fullback playing style. Long man shooting and pinpoint crossing, great. Outside curler is a handy one because he's not 2-footed, so it's important he's got outside curler. That's a good one for him to have. Penalty specialist, he was a penalty specialist up to a point, but until Arsenal started signing players like Henry and Bergkamp. But then defensively here, man marking, interception, fighting spirit, blocker, sliding tackle. Great selection of defensive skills there. So yeah, the skills, the abilities. This is just a really, really good defensive fullback. I imagine it's probably one or two, like your Maldinis and so on, who could arguably be better than this guy. But with the skills he's got, the abilities he's got, I don't think you can ask for much more. I think it's got to be one of the best defensive fullbacks in the game, to be honest. If there's better ones, let me know. I've not seen many better. Like I say, I think it's been a Maldini recently and one or two other ones maybe. But yeah, I don't think you can ask for much more from a defensive fullback. And I think if you like that defensive fullback playing style, and if you get this guy, I imagine you'll be very happy. I think it's a very good card. And the second of our trio of Arsenal players, we've got Emmanuel Petit. He's a box-to-box defensive midfielder. He can play defensive mid, centre mid, left back. Let's jump over to eFootball Hub again. Let's see how good we can make this guy. So, with auto allocation, he looks pretty decent. Defensively, he looks really strong. Passing looks lovely. On the ball, ball control's alright. Don't know about the rest. Athletically, average pace for a midfielder. Kicking power's great. Physically, yeah, he looks decent. Balance, horrible. Stamina, fantastic. So, a real mixed bag here. We've got some great attributes, we've got some terrible attributes, and we got a bunch in between. So, yeah. Can we round them out a bit? Let's have a look at his skills first. So, what have we got? Soul control, nice. One-touch pass, weighted pass, through passing. I think we need through passing on this guy. Outside curls, a nice one to have. He's not 2-footed, so outside curl is important. Load off the pass, and then defensively, man marking, interception, sliding tackle. So, I think the one skill he really needs is through passing. Through passing is the first skill I'd look to put on this guy, certainly as a midfielder. Would I adjust the way they've allocated his points? I'll tell you what I'm going to do. We've got a few positions here we're going to look at. I'm going to start with centre midfield, and then I'm going to work our way back. So, as a centre midfielder, we need a bit more going forward. He's very strong defensively. I'm going to go all in on making him more offensive first. I'm going to take all the defensives away initially. I'm just going to see how good we can make him as an all-rounder. Don't need anything on aerial. Hang on, if I can leave 3 points there, bit more dexterity, yeah, get his balance up to 70. So, as a centre midfielder, I'll do something like that. We've made him more comfortable on the ball there. Attacking awareness is past 80, defensive awareness past 80. Not many midfielders have attacking awareness and defensive awareness past 80. That's good, and especially with the stamina as well. He's going to be all over the place. That's fantastic. He's going to be up and down the pitch. Passing is still lovely. We kept that low pass at 90. He still needs through passing, but still good. Great low pass attribute there. He's got one-touch pass. He's got weighted pass, low lofted pass. Lofted pass is 82. Yeah, good passing, but through passing is definitely needed. Whatever position you play him in. Defensively, if you're playing him as a centre midfielder, fairly strong. That's good. Athletically, we've made him stronger there. The speed at 80, acceleration up to 85, kicking power still at 91. The physical, we've got the physical at 80, jump at 70. That's fine. Balance, still not great. 70 is not good for balance, but it's better than it was. We've got a bunch more points on his balance there. And of course, stamina still great, 95. So as a centre midfielder, box-to-box playing style, I think he's pretty decent. I don't think he's one of the best box-to-box centre mids around by any means. There are better ones. But I think certainly could do a lot worse than this. So as a centre midfielder, I'll do something like that. As a defensive midfielder, which is what he's supposed to be, that's his registered position, I'll go back to auto allocation, but I'll change much. You can scrimp one from low pass there. What would we do? I'm not sure how good he is on the ball. We can nick a bit from his defending, and he's still 90 plus in all of them. I'm just going to go 4 more on there. I'll probably just do that. So 90 plus in all those defensive attributes. A bit more comfortable on the ball. Lovely passing. Pace, fine. Kicking power is great. Physically, decent. Balance is still pretty horrible, but as a defensive mid, I think that's okay. Stamina is great. I think if you're going to use this guy as a defensive midfielder, you'd probably want to put the defensive instruction on him to stop him from bombing forward too much, because the box-to-box will get up and down. Even as a defensive midfielder, he will get up the pitch quite a bit. So if you want to focus on his defensive abilities, of which he has a lot, then you might want to put the defensive instruction on him if you play him in that position. And maybe you want to put maybe his blocker, aerial superiority on him. but certainly as a defensive midfielder, he has a lot of strengths there. He could be pretty effective in that position. As a left back, let's do a left back build. I'm just going to reset completely. Doesn't need too much defensively. I'll just put 4 on there. He needs a lot of speed. We'll go to 12 initially. Needs some acceleration as well. He definitely needs to be better on the ball. 8 points left. It's not the most efficient to go past 12 on something, but I'm going to do it because we need more speed. I've actually played against a bunch of people who've used this guy as a left back against me, and he seemed all right. So on that basis, and looking at the attributes here, he's kind of certainly good in some areas. I think like with Roberto, you've got a lot of qualities, but with a fullback, you're probably looking at the pace primarily as a concern. He's not the quickest for a fullback, and I would certainly like more balance on a fullback as well. So there's a couple of concerns, but outside of that, incredible stamina. Physically, he's pretty strong. Defensively, he's strong. On the left here, technically, he's okay. He's certainly got good skills for a fullback. Maybe you'd want pinpoint crossing on him, but yeah, I don't know. Qualities there, but I think there are 1 or 2 concerns. So I'm not sure how well suited he is to left back. I think it's probably just one where if you get this guy, you've already got a lot of options in those kind of centre and defensive midfield positions, but you don't have a legendary left back. Maybe it's worth training him like this to use him as a left back. Possibly could be an option for you, but I'm not sure that's where you would necessarily get the best value out of him. But I'm going to show you one more build. I'm going to show you a sneaky one. So this is a guy who you can position train. If you position train him, you can make him a centre back. So, like I say, it's a bit of a sneaky one, but I'm going to reset him again. I'm just going to show you how good he can be as a centre-back. So, get the defensives to 90 plus. Get his physical up to 90 physical contact. We've got like 27 points. Give him some pace. Get him up to 80 there. Can we get his acceleration up to 80? Yes. What we've got left? 5 points left. I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to call in our good friend Goalkeeper 1. Because his jumping's the one real weakness here. Nice. And 1 more point left. Stick it on dribbling. That right there is a proper sneaky centre-back. So it would take you at least 2 position trainers to get him centre-back. So in my case, that would equate to 75 position trainers. But 90 plus in all defensives, 80 speed, 80 acceleration, great kicking power. The jumping's up to 83, which is not brilliant, but if you give him aerial superiority at 6'1", I think he'll be okay in the air. Physical contact 90 is fine. Stamina for a centre back is outstanding. And then down the left there, technically he's sound for a centre back. So yeah, if you give this guy blocker, aerial superiority, I think those are the only 2 you really need as a centre back. Blocker and aerial superiority for a start, and you can maybe give him acrobatic clearance, 1 or 2 other ones, but certainly he's got some nice skills on the ball. Those 2 defensive skills, though, blocker and aerial superiority, I think this guy could be a proper sneaky centre-back. So if you've got a lot of good midfield options, legends, you've always got B form, so you've not got any room for this guy in midfield, you don't fancy playing at left-back, which I probably wouldn't myself, but if you'd like a new centre-back, honestly, if I get this guy when I do my spins, I reckon I'm probably going to train him like this and see if I can make him a centre-back when I can spare the position trainers, because looking at the attributes here, if you give him the relevant skills as a centre-back, he looks like he could be pretty damn nice. So that's just another option for you there. So could be a decent centre-mid, could be possibly a left-back at a stretch, certainly could be a very nice defensive mid, but if you want to be proper cheeky, you could make a really nice, potentially 100 rated, apparently, centre-back out of him. So he needs a couple of skills to do that, but you've got a bunch of options. Not an outstanding card, but certainly there's a few ways you could use him, and I think you could get some pretty good value out of him depending on which position you're training for. And completing our Arsenal trident, we have Seaman, England legend Dave Seaman. He was a great servant to England. I'll be very pleased if I get this guy for the nostalgia. Plus his ponytail looks fantastic when you see him play. I've seen him in co-op a few times. So, he's got his little tash. They could have done a bit more with his moustache, to be honest. I think they've undersold his moustache somewhat, but let's go over to eFootball Hub. Let's see how good he is. And he is rather good. So, 98 goalkeeper awareness, crikey. 96 catching. We're over 90 for parrying and reflexes as well. Reach is the one that's not brilliant at 85. He is 6'4", so he's got a good height on him. So I don't think his reach is going to be too bad, but I'd like it to be a bit higher. Jumping's great at 80. Right, let's see. I would like to get his reach up a little bit. Let's see what we can do. And you can spare some points from goalkeeper awareness for sure. So, where's that reach? There it is. 1, 2, 3, 4. Gets up to 90. We've got there 4 points. Stick 1 on reflexes. 1 point left. Stick it on passing. Yeah, wow. This is a good goalkeeper. I prefer this build. I would definitely do this. So 6'4", the reach up to 90 is going to have fantastic coverage of his goal. Goalkeeper awareness 94 is excellent. Catching 97 is amazing. Parrying 95 is great, and reflexes 92 is really good as well. Jumping is down to 72, but as we know from all the Player of the Week and Player of the Month packs, according to Konami, when a goalkeeper's on form, he can't jump. So yeah, I guess this guy's gonna be just fine because he's got permanent B form. Yeah, this is just a really good goalie. The one downside is the distribution there. His distribution sucks. So I think, to be honest with this guy, and he doesn't have low punt or long throw, I think with this guy, when you get the ball, I would just lob it downfield, high up the field, and just try and win a header. Otherwise, just be very careful with his passing, his throwing, and so on. But yeah, where it counts, this Dave Seaman card looks really, really strong. For nostalgia reasons, I would love to have this guy, England legend. But even outside of that, great goalkeeper attributes. He looks like he's going to be brilliant at shot stopping. So yeah, I think this is a really good goalkeeper card, plain and simple. And now we have Guti from Real Madrid. So we have a creative playmaker. He's an attacking midfielder. He can play SS as well. He can play centre mid. Let's jump over to the hub. Let's see how good he is. So, first things first, he is ridiculous on the ball. I never rated him that highly in real life. I'm not going to suggest he wasn't a good player, but I never thought he was anything special. But according to Konami, he was special because those on-the-ball attributes, I mean, who did I think he was? Ronaldinho? That's ridiculous. He's got very nice passing as well. Finishing is pretty decent for a kind of number 10 type of player. Attacking awareness likewise at 81. Not the quickest, 79 pace. Acceleration is good though. Kicking power is good. Balance is decent, 84. I think the question with this guy is, can you kind of balance him out? Can you kind of take some of those points away from his on-the-ball attributes and give him a bit more athleticism? I think that's probably worth doing. For some of you, you might not feel the need. If you don't really need that much pace on a guy, especially with the creative playmaker playing style where pace isn't really so important, especially in that area of the pitch, you might just take him as he is with those incredible attributes on the ball and just enjoy the dribbling and the technique. If that's what you want to do, then great. I mean, if you look down the skills down here, got soul control, double touch. You might want to put a few more skill moves on him, possibly if you're a dribbler. But in terms of end product, long range curler, chip shots, one touch pass, through passing, weighted pass, pinpoint crossing, outside curler, super sub as well. Oof. Yeah, got a good selection of skills. He can certainly create chances for you with his passing and crossing. With the finishing at 80, good kicking power and curl. He's got long range curler, but you might want to put long range shooting the first time shot on him, especially if you played him as an SS. I wouldn't touch centre midfield with him. He's not strong enough defensively there. It'd be a waste. But as an attacking mid or an SS, playing behind the attack as a creative playmaker, that playing style is active in both those positions. Super effective, creating chances for you and potentially shooting, especially if you had 1 or 2 shooting skills. But yeah, that build, like I say, could be great for you. But if you wanted to take some points away from there, you could go all the way down to 5 and you're still 90 plus on all of them. That frees up 18 points. You can nick 1 off passing. I'm going to leave his finishing at 80. So then, what do we do with these? Couple more on speed, gets kicking power up to 90. We can go all the way up to 90 balance. Yeah, there we go. So we can get his acceleration into the 90s, kicking power is 90, balance is 90, still really good on the ball, still got really nice passing. Attacking awareness right up to 86 as well. I personally would go for this build. If you're a real dribbler, you might not agree with that. You might prefer to have those crazy on the ball attributes. But for me, staying 90 plus in all of those, making more athletic, a bit more explosive with the acceleration, the balance as well, which is important. Attacking awareness of 86 as well in those areas behind the attack. I think that looks really nice. You could position train this guy to play on either flank. He's got pinpoint crossing. He's a left footer. If you position train him for the left, he's got a very nice cross on him. Pretty decent cross on him, so he could be a left winger for you if you wanted to do that. If you position train him for the right, he's an inverted winger. He's not got explosive pace, but he does have a great acceleration, good balance. He is good in the ball. You've got passing, got crossing, he's got shooting. As an inverted wing, it could be very nice coming off the right flank, especially with his long range curlers. But yeah, I think certainly you'll get the most out of this guy playing behind the attack, either attacking mid or SS with it as a creative playmaker. The ability he's got, whether it's the auto allocation where he's amazing on the ball, or whether you round him out a bit the way I built him here and make him a bit more explosive, a bit more athletic. He's a really nice guy. He's got a good selection of skills. He's going to be great at creating chances for you. I've seen a few people streaming who've got this guy, and I've got a few friends who've got him, and everyone seems to really like him. Everyone I've spoken to and seen who's got this card, or another card of Guti, has really liked him. So he seems to be a popular card. And yeah, as I say, however you train him, he looks like he could be a really good one as well. So if you get this card, you might have a really good one on your hands. And next we have Edgar. So, Edgar Davids from Juventus, destroyer, defensive midfielder. He's also got centre midfield. He's got left midfield for some reason. Let's jump over again to eFootball Hub and see how good Edgar is. I can tell you before we even look at the numbers, he's fantastic. I've already got the original Juventus version of this guy, and he's been brilliant for me. This would be a slight upgrade if I get him, but even if I don't get this one, I'm happy with the one I've got. He's been great for me, but as you can see with Edgar, he is just fantastic. He's a defensive monster. He's a pit bull in the middle of midfield. Brilliant at winning the ball and making interceptions and blocks. It's not brilliant technically here. I feel like he should be better. With this auto allocation, I think it's fine. If you want him to sit in front of the defense and just destroy everything and everyone, can be really, really effective. I would like to round him out a bit, make him a bit more technically sound. So what would I do as a defensive mid? I'm going to nip one off passing. I'm going to nip one off defending. Get that physical contact up to 90. Nice. Can we do that? We can spare a couple of lower body actually. And get that tight possession up to 80. Nice. We can get attacking awareness up to 70 and acceleration up to 90. I think I'll do that. Yeah. So to be honest, technically I'd still like a bit more from those attributes, but the passing's around about the level I'd want it to be at. Defensively, we're still 90 plus in all of them. But down the right here, athletically, pretty good speed for a defensive mid at 85, acceleration 90, kicking power 90, jumping 82, physical contact 90, balance 85, stamina 96. This is a strong card, defensive midfielder. If you're not old enough to have watched this guy play, he was brilliant, and his card, they've done a very good job with his card. They've really reflected how good he was. If you've not used him in the game, and if you do get this card, congratulations, he's brilliant. Really, really good card. I can tell you from experience, mine's been so good for me as a defensive mid, and this guy is actually slightly better than mine. So, yeah, it's a great card. But look down the skills, though. You do need to put a few skills on him. So, Marseille turn, soul control, knuckle shot, a few luxury skills there, but the important ones, man marking, track back, interception, acrobatic clearance, fighting spirit, blocker, sliding tackle. Defensively, you've got a great selection there, but the skills you need to add, obviously, they're with passing. So you need one-touch pass. I would say probably through passing as well. On mine, I've given him outside curler. He's not particularly two-footed. So I've given mine, I think the ones I put on mine, I've got one-touch pass, through passing, outside curler, I think weighted pass as well. But certainly one-touch, through passing, and outside curler. I think those three skills would be the first three I'll put on him if you get him. I think they would really be worth putting on him to really round him out and kind of just iron out any slight areas where he's slightly lacking. But he's such a great card though if you do get him. He does have other positions, so brilliant as a DMF, but if we wanted to use him as a CMF, just round him out a bit and give him more of an all-round build. That destroyer playing style will still be active as a centre midfielder, but he'll obviously be playing a bit higher up the pitch, so he need a bit more offensive ability. So don't need him to be so crazy defensively. You can calm down a bit with the defending. More attacking awareness, definitely. Get shooting up a bit past 70, yeah. Maybe do that. So about the same on the ball, but got that low pass up to 90. You're still going to need those passing skills, even more important centre midfield, but whatever position, you need those passing skills on him. Got the attacking awareness into the 70s, finishing just past 70. Defensively, still past 80 in all of these. You got a bunch of 90 plus attributes down the right hand side. Athletically, he's great. Yeah, I would do something like that as a centre midfielder. He would be good if you do use him in that way, but I really feel like with this card, he's one of these cards where you've got to use him where he's best. You've got to use him defensive mid, whether it's auto allocation or whether you tweak him the way I just built him. I think, sure, as a centre midfielder, as you see here, he could be pretty good, but why have him as a pretty good centre mid when you can have him as an outstanding defensive mid. Just to look at left midfield, I will do a build there because he does have that. I'm going to just start from scratch on this one. So what we're going to do, could do with some speed. Passing up to 90. On the ball, he needs to be better. Got 1 point left. Shooting. Yeah. If you're going to use him as a left midfielder, could he be good? I think it's like centre midfield. Certainly, you could make him decent looking at the attributes. Is it worth doing that? I'm not so sure. He's a left footer. You'd have to put pinpoint crossing on him really as a left-footed left winger. I feel like if you're going to use me in that position, I would do that maybe only if you use wing backs. If you play like a 3-4-3, you've got 3 at the back and you play with wing backs. As a wing back, as a bit of an all-rounder, given the passing skills, given pinpoint crossing as well, as a wing back, pretty good pace. Certainly the acceleration will be super responsive. Incredible stamina at 98. Defensively fairly strong. He's certainly got the skills to back him up defensively. Pretty tidy on the ball. Good passing. If you gave him pinpoint crossing as a left wing back, it's a bit of a weird one to play Edgar Davids there, but he could do a good job for you. But the question I would ask would be, why won't you just put him at defensive midfield? Whether it's centre mid or left mid, sure, both those positions you can train to be pretty good, but this guy's a defensive mid and he's an animal. He's one of the best defensive mids in the game, I think. So yeah, if you get this guy, sure, you can make him an interesting left wing back, left winger. You could make him a pretty solid all-round centre mid, but as a defensive midfielder, if you get this card, you're winning. This is a brilliant card to have. So yeah, even for me, I'm happy with the one I've got, but if I get this guy, it's a slight upgrade on a card that I've already got, which is already fantastic. So this is a really great card. I'm actually quite surprised they put him in this pack, to be honest. It's pretty generous of them. And now we have Ruud. We have another fox in the box. I think that's at least the 3rd fox in the box out of these legends that we've got. So another striker, fox in the box. Let's jump over to the hub, see how good Ruud is. So auto allocation, fully maxed out, and game plan boost and all that jazz. He's not bad with the awareness and finishing, is he? 99 and 98. Yikes. Yeah, when it comes to taking chances, this guy's going to be absolutely deadly. On the ball, good ball control. Dribbling and tight possession, not so great. So when you get the ball with this guy, don't start trying to do anything crazy like dribble. He's not going to be good at that. He's not got great balance either. So again, similar to Dwight Yorke, the balance isn't brilliant. Passing's all right for centre forward. Obviously finishing, as I mentioned, is crazy good. Heading 86 is good. Set pieces 86. I don't remember him being good at set pieces, but fair enough. So 86 heading, 76 jumping, 84 physical. Pace pretty average, decent kicking power. So, and he's fairly 2-footed as well. So yeah, again, we've got a guy where firstly, you've got the dilemma of the balance. Do you accept that he's not got good balance and you maybe take a few away from dexterity to put some points elsewhere? I don't know if I'd want to go below 80 for acceleration, so I'm not sure if I'd do that. And then the other thing is the playing style. Fox in the box. He's not going to go darting in behind the defence at every opportunity like a goal poacher would. He's going to be making runs a bit later into the box, so he could well be getting involved in the build-up. It depends how you use him. And again, are you going to get him on the under crosses? Fox in the box, good playing style to get in the under crosses. Are you going to use him that way? Because he's not going to be dominant in the air. 76 jumping. He is 6'2", decent height on him, but he would need a bit more height to be dominant in the air. And he does need aerial superiority as well if you use him that way. He's got heading, he's got acrobatic finishing, so I think it's worth putting aerial superiority on him. Heel trick's a nice one. First time shot's crucial, of course he's got that. One touch pass is helpful. Could do with maybe the long range curler, long range shooting. I think long range curler, long range shooting, aerial superiority, those are the 3 for this guy that I would want. And similar to what I said with Pizarro and Evair, I think personally I would like more of an all-round build. It's great to have that crazy awareness and finishing. When it comes to taking chances, being in the right place at the right time, he's going to be absolutely deadly. And if that's enough for you, and if you're okay with the rest of the attributes, he could be brilliant as he is. If you prefer to round him out a bit and make him a bit better in the air, which I think is important with the Fox in the Box playing style to make the most of that. And maybe he's making him a bit better on the ball if we can as well. Because he will, if I get a Fox in the Box, anytime we use a Fox in the Box, I do feed the ball into their feet quite a bit and play off them and play through them. So, yeah, let's see. Can we free up some points from elsewhere? I think we can certainly free up some points from shooting. 93 there. So we freed up 11 points, still 93 finishing. That's great. Do we increase that passing? I'll leave the passing for now. Going to just nudge his tight possession up to 80. I'm going to take this down. I'm going to accept that his balance is crap. I'm just going to take that down, and even going below 80 for acceleration. I don't like to do that, but I want to get his speed up a little bit. Not just his speed though. Boom. I want that kicking power to 90. Aerial, can we get to 8? Yes, we can. Nice. So we get to 80 jumping, physical 88, and that heading's gone past 90 as well. We've got 5 points left. Stick 4 on passing. Or maybe just 2 on passing and then 1 more on aerial. Ooh, hello. We just got up to the 90 mark. So that's a little naughty one. So we're on 88 physical, and it's another one of those increases where you go up by 1, but it puts the physical contact up by 2. Boom. I think I would do that. So we have sacrificed a bit of acceleration, but we've got a bit more speed, and we've got the kicking power to 90. You will notice the kicking power with your finishing. Finishing 93, kicking power 90. This guy's going to score for you. Jumping 81, physical contact 90, heading 92, finishing at 93 still, attacking awareness 96. About the same on the ball. We've nudged the tight possession up to 80, low pass 73. Yeah, if I get this guy, I think this is how I'm building him. I was never a massive fan of his. I'm not a Man U fan, but my co-op buddy's a Man U fan. So if I get this guy, I'll be pleased that I can bring him to co-op because my co-op buddy will love using him. Yeah, I'll build him like this. Still great with the awareness and finishing, but we just rounded him out a bit. Given that kicking power, a bit more speed. We made him stronger in the air. If you gave this guy aerial superiority, I think as an all-rounder with the Fox in the Box playing style, this guy could be really, really potent. He's obviously great. You look at the numbers it's throwing up there, saying he's 102 up front. Clearly an excellent striker. So, yeah, if you like a striker who's a bit of an all-rounder, Fox in the Box playing style works for you. This looks like a brilliant striker. And we finish up with a centre-back. And how good a centre-back was this guy? He was in his 30s when I started watching football, but he is honestly one of the best centre-backs I've seen. He was tiny for a centre-back, but he was just so damn good. So he's a build-up. He's, what, 5'8", something like that, 5'8", 5'9". So he's a bit short, but does he make up for it with his all-round defensive ability? Absolutely. Wow, look at these. 101 defensive awareness, 99 engagement, 101 tackling, 93 aggression. He can defend. Yes, he's short, but he's got 95 jumping. But there's one thing this guy needs, and that is aerial superiority. If you get this guy, the first thing you need to do, and I mean need, is give him aerial superiority. Very, very important. But outside of that, man marking, interception, acrobatic clearance, captaincy, fight spirit, block, and slide tackle, he's got all the skills he needs defensively, except aerial superiority. So give him that one skill, then you got the bonus up there. One touch pass, weighted pass, low lofted pass. He's technically nice for a centre-back. This looks like a really nice centre-back card. So would I do anything? I think some people would leave it as it is, but for me personally, yes, he needs aerial superiority, but I also feel like that physical contact is a concern. He's a little guy. Yes, he's got a lot of qualities, not least with those crazy defensive attributes, but physical contact, I've always said it, even before the update, is important, really important on the centre-back, but now it's even more important. So let's see if we can get that higher, because I do think that's worth doing. We're going to have to scrimp some points on those crazy defensive attributes, but we can afford to. So we're going to go down to... let's go all the way down to 8. I mean, still crazy good defensively. Yeah, he's lacking aggression, but we don't all need aggression. I'm fine with aggression being a bit lower than the rest. Mid-80s for engagement and tackling, 98 for awareness still, and we've freed up 20 points. Stick that aerial straight to 12. Does it get us 90? No. Okay, we're going to 13. Not a problem. Still got 4 points left. And that jumping goes to 100. That helps. What we putting the remaining points on? Lower body. Bosh, there we go. I think that is what I would do. So we've got a speed over 80. Got great balance for a centre-back. Really good stamina as well. The jumping, as I mentioned, is 100. Physical contact 90. Give this guy aerial superiority. He's going to have no problems in the air. Kicking power 80 is good for a centre-back. And as I mentioned with the defensive attributes, yes, they're not as crazy as they were, but they're still fantastic. He's great defensively still, and he's nice technically for a centre-back. Heading 94. Yeah, this is a really nice looking centre-back. So with aerial superiority and with a build like this, he's not going to have any real weaknesses there. He's going to be great at defending. He's going to be physically strong enough. He's going to win his aerial duels. And most importantly, he's got a bit of pace about him. He's going to be nimble. He's going to be responsive. For a centre-back, that's going to be great, especially when you come up against the little strikers, your Romarios, your Mbappes, the ones with the pace who can twist and turn and turn a lot of centre-back inside out. This guy's not getting turned inside out. He's fantastic. So this, for me, is my #1 target out of this pack. If I don't get him, I'll probably cry. He looks so good. Oh, I'd love to pick him up. He'd be great in my Milan squad. It'd be great in general. I want to put him in my team alongside Beckenbauer. That'd be a beautiful partnership. So yeah, this to me, yes, he's a bit short. Yes, he needs aerial superiority, and I would personally shuffle the points around the way I've done here, but I think this is a brilliant centre-back card, and again, I'm surprised they put him in this pack, but I'm not complaining. Certainly not if I get him. If I don't get him, then I will complain, because I'll be devastated. But yeah, brilliant centre-back card. So there you go, 15 legends in this pack. I hope you've all been lucky with your spins and got some good ones. There are certainly some good ones. Like I say, Baresi is an absolutely top centre-back. I'm really, really hoping I'll get him. Van Nistelrooy, not desperate to get him, but he's a great striker. Davids, don't need him, but if I get him, an upgrade on a player that's already brilliant for me, will not complain. Guti, never a huge fan of his in real life, but it looks like a really good card. And then what we got, those 3 from Arsenal. Seaman I would love, he looks like a really good keeper. Petit, he looks decent as a midfielder, defensive or centre midfielder. At a stretch, he could be a left back, but as a cheeky centre back, interesting. Dixon, if you like a defensive fullback, I think is fantastic. Mendieta, similar to Roberto. Where's Roberto gone? I've lost him. But Mendieta and Roberto. Mendieta the righty, Roberto the lefty. Both wide midfielders who aren't necessarily the quickest, but with their passing and crossing could be very nice. And they could also play through the middle and be very nice there as well. So it could be pretty handy cards. Pizarro is one of 3 fox in the box strikers we've got in here. Physical, bit of an all-rounder. I think he could be pretty decent, pretty strong in the air. Dwight Yorke is a goal poacher. His balance absolutely stinks, but apart from that, depending how you train him, I think he could be a pretty neat poacher. There's Roberto. I couldn't see him even though he's right in front of me. Van Buyten, monster. You want a big centre-back who's going to be a kind of a perfect antidote for when your opponent's got players like Collar up front. Van Buyten's your guy. I've used him a lot, and he's been way better than I thought he'd be. Really good, strong centre-back, but he does need 1 or 2 skills. Dennis Irwin, really useful left-back. I'm going to position train him for right-back as well. Maybe it's OCD, but I don't like a a right-footer playing at the left-back, but whether you're playing left-back or right-back, looks like a really good attacking full-back. And then who else was there? A couple more, isn't it? Yeah. So Luis García. I knew these guys are amazing, but I don't think they're bad. I think when you see all these bunched together and some good ones in there, you have to scroll all the way to the right and think, oh, there's a couple of rubbish ones. They're not rubbish. I mean, there's not a lot of difference in the rating. I think they're decent. Luis García, I think, is a pretty decent, nifty little right winger, to be honest, inverted winger. And Evair looks like a decent all-rounder of a striker as well. So you've got 15 legends in there that I think, depending on what kind of player you like, sure, there might be some that anyone might not particularly want from the pack, but I think for most people, if you get enough spins at this pack, you should at least get 1 or 2 decent ones that you get some value from. And certainly when you scroll all the way to the left of the higher rated ones, you've got some very nice ones in here that I'm quite surprised they put in, especially Davids and Baresi. So yeah, some good players in there. As I mentioned at the start, I might do a video at some point where I run through all these highlight cards and just give you a quick review of them. It will have to be a quick one because we all know the way I ramble on. My videos are too long as they are. If I do all these 85 players in detail, crikey, that'll be a long video. But I might do something with them. And I'm thinking maybe this Thursday afternoon I might do a live stream, do a pack opening where I do my, how many have I got? 73 spins. So yeah, Thursday afternoon, keep your eyes out. I might go live, I might do my pack opening, and you might witness a grown man crying when I don't get Baresi. So yeah, there you go. So there is your 100 player pack with your contract renewal chance deals. Hopefully you found that useful. Thank you as always for watching. There'll be 1 or 2 more videos coming out this week, and of course on Thursday there'll be player of the week, and if they add anything else interesting to the game, we'll wait and see. But yeah, more videos coming. Keep your eyes on the channel. Hopefully I'll do that live stream Thursday afternoon if I'm not too busy. Thank you for watching as always. Really appreciate it. Look after yourselves. I'll see you soon.